The action takes place in a modern city of San Francisco in the near future. A young scientist, Will Rodman, in search of an effective cure, in the form of the LZ-112 virus, for Alzheimer's disease, conducts genetic experiments on monkeys. But one of the experimental chimpanzees, a female named Bright Eyes, becomes aggressive, gets out of control and destroys the laboratory. She is killed, and after this incident the management decides to suspend the experiment and euthanize all the monkeys. Will's colleague Robert Franklin discovers that Bright Eyes was pregnant. This is not as noticeable in monkeys as in humans. Gave birth already in the laboratory and therefore just protected her baby from people. Robert persuades Will to take the baby home, saying that he will look for a nursery for him. Soon Will discovers amazing abilities in the chimpanzee for his age and realizes that the drug that was given to his mother also affected the baby. The scientist decides to keep the chimpanzee at his home, eventually giving him the name Caesar. He also makes a desperate move and steals a drug from the laboratory, which he gives to his father Charles, who suffers from Alzheimer's syndrome. Will begins a romantic relationship with veterinarian Caroline Arana. Will and Caroline introduce Caesar to the redwood forest at Muir Woods National Monument so he can roam. Meanwhile, Will treats his father, Charles, with a LZ-112, which seems to restore his cognitive ability. A few years later, the consequences of treatment are revealed. Charles's body has learned to fight the ALZ-112 virus, and the disease manifests itself with new force. Meanwhile, Caesar easily mastered sign language and freely expressed himself on it, as well as learned to understand human speech. Once he attacked a man, protecting Charles, and the Animal Control Service took him to a nursery. The conditions there were terrible, and Will promised Caesar that he would pick him up soon. Caesar is tormented by the alpha chimpanzee, Rocket, and the chief guard, Dodge Landon. However, Caesar befriends Maurice, a former circus orangutan who also knows sign language. Caesar learns to unlock his cage, gaining free access to the common area. The scientist is going through a hard breakup, realizing that he is losing both his father and Caesar. He develops a new formula of the drug, ALZ-113, which is more powerful and faster acting on the body, but does not have time to give it to his father, as Charles dies. But the manager of the company where Will works becomes interested in the new drug and orders a new batch of experimental monkeys, which are successful. After attempting to test the drug on a bonobo named Koba, Franklin accidentally becomes exposed to ALZ-113 and becomes ill, due to Koba intentionally ripping his mask off. Despite the risks, Jacob's orders continued trials and as a result Will quits his position. At this time, Caesar, using his intellect, takes the place of leader among the monkeys in the nursery. He has friends, a male gorilla whom he releases from a cage with a self-made lockpick, a chimpanzee who used to be a leader, and Maurice. At night Caesar escapes to freedom and steals samples of the drug from Will, which he gives to other monkeys. After preparation, the monkeys accidentally kill one of the overseers, lock up another one in a cage and break out of the nursery. At the same time it is discovered that the new drug affects people differently. Robert Franklin, who accidentally contracted ALZ-113, dies. But now no one cares. Monkeys free their relatives from the zoo and laboratory and start a real revolution. Caesar decides to send his wards to a reserve where he walked with Will as a child. But on the Golden Gate Bridge police set up an ambush for monkeys. Several animals die, including gorilla. But monkeys achieve their goal and conquer reserve. Will urgently arrives there to stop revolution and tells Caesar to go home. Caesar, not with gestures but with words, answers him. Caesar is home, and Will understands that this is really so. After credits scene is shown at airport where Will's neighbor who contacted Franklin shortly before latter's death had blood from nose. This symptom also appeared in Franklin. The most dangerous for humanity virus began to spread rapidly. Did you enjoy the movie? If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more movie summaries. We will do our best to bring you a new summary every day, so stay tuned and don't miss out. Thank you for watching and see you next time.